Hey friends, welcome to Woman Owned Wallet, the podcast. I'm Amanda Dare, a serial entrepreneur who has already made all of the money mistakes, so you don't have to. Now, I'm working on my money mindset, expanding my companies, and having open conversations with women around a subject that shouldn't be so taboo: money. My company, Woman Owned Wallet, and I are determined to help you foster a positive relationship with your wallet and help you create a life that makes you say, wow. Hey everybody, Amanda here. We're back with my money mindset coach, Melissa. We're so excited today. We're going to talk about gratitude. And we were just having a little discussion. I think you might have heard the word gratitude almost too many times at this point. It just feels like, yes, I'm thankful for everything I have. But Melissa and I really want to take a moment and explore it with you. So thank you so much, Melissa, for coming back on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk about some gratitude and maybe shed a little different bit of light on it today.
Totally. I'm so excited too, because when you brought up this idea, it really does make a lot of sense. And as I look back on my journey, I was really thinking about I've had, at the end of this year, I'll almost have had 30 fashion collections come out. And man, that's a lot. It is incredible to look back and see how far I've come and how many creative things have come out of my brain and are now in the world, just living their best life. So it's just really interesting because when I think back about all the work that I've done, I haven't always been able to be super grateful for it in the moment. And I think that's really important. And it seems like that's something you really wanted to expand on. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So start with congrats on 30 collections. That's
you.
Totally incredible. So everybody talks about gratitude, right? And it's about taking the time to be grateful and thankful for what's in your life. But that kind of feels empty. And like you said, you've heard it so many times, you write down all the things you're grateful for and all of this kind of the same feeling over and over again, and just be grateful for what you have. But what I think of is more of an active gratitude, where you're not just saying that you're thankful for the things that are in your life. You're finding the things in your life that you're thankful for and then using them. Spending time inside of those things, loving them, appreciating them actively in the moment, not just retrospectively, oh, I'm so grateful that I have a wonderful family, or, oh, I'm so grateful that I live in a nice house. Look around your house, clean it up a little, maybe change it around a little, spend time actively enjoying the things that you're grateful for. And that is going to create so much more feeling of actual happiness, contentment, excitement for the life that you currently have. And you're still allowed to be excited about the things that are coming in the future. But we want to avoid this constant what's next. You set a goal, you reach it, you're happy, you're grateful that you reached it, but you're already on to what's next. So that's where we got to the point in the conversation about your collections. If you want to share how that experience relates.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And even just hearing you say those things, the act of gratitude, to me, it's exploring that gratitude and deepening that gratitude before you move on to the next phase. So when I was getting started with the New Black, I would come out with a collection and it would just kind of graze by. I would have already been working on this collection before it launched for weeks or months or however long it was at the time. And when the collection finally reached, the sales floor in my store, which was located in the mall at the time, it was just out there. And then I would look around and be like, okay, well, now it's out here. What do I do now? How do I get excited about this now? And people would walk in and I would get a little bit of that at each time. I get excitement from individual customers, but I was never really celebrating, I guess, and sitting in that gratitude like we were talking about. And so I decided to start having collection like launch parties. And I equated them a lot to like a gallery opening a little bit, where I am an artist. I want you to come, I want you to look at it, and I want you to celebrate with me because every collection is a major accomplishment. And I want to celebrate that and like share that moment with a lot of people. And by doing those parties and having those collections come out, where before I was like, okay, this collection's here, but I'm already thinking ahead, because in the fashion industry, you have to be thinking so far ahead. But I was never able to like just enjoy what I had created. And it was difficult, like as an artist coming out, to be like, okay, it's here, it's done. Like a lot of artists end up like hating their work, like when it's over. And I think like having that connection where I could see my artwork, which is clothing, on people, I could see them expressing their emotions around it, good, bad, or otherwise. I get a lot of feedback. And that feedback for me felt so good, because then it helped me to further my journey. That feedback, positive and negative, helped me to sit in the moment, collect all that data, that information, and then make my next collections better, because I took the moment to have a full interaction with my artwork, with my collections. And I'm really grateful for that, because if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Yeah, it's so important to take that time when you're in the moment. And I feel like gratitude is stereotypically something that you do looking back, right? I look back on the things I've done. I'm grateful for the things I've done. I want to challenge you to feel gratitude for yourself, like in the current moment. Like this smallest example, before I go to bed at night, if I remember to set my coffee pot up to make myself coffee in the morning before I wake up, I take a moment to tell myself, thank you for doing that. Thank you right now, me, for doing that, because tomorrow morning I'm going to be so grateful. So this gratitude, it doesn't have to be something that's in the past. It can be something that you bring into all the little current moments of your life as they come. So that is another just little addition that I like to make. But something else that I think goes hand in hand with this idea of gratitude is getting full use of what you already have. So a lot of what we want are things, right? Physical things, products. We want to learn more. We want to get programs. We want to consume. And if we can just stop and take a little bit of time to reassess what we already have in our possession that's available to us that we have not utilized to the fullest extent, it can really keep us from having all of these desires, or at least keeps us where we feel like we have a lot of things and we don't need to be reaching out and grabbing for the next best thing.
Yeah, I like how you said that. Like, we want to be consuming. Like, we're always actively thinking that the next thing that we think will help us in some way in our current life now. And sometimes it's just, like you said, like looking around at what you already have. And I think as it relates to your wallet and how we're trying to help you guys think about money a little bit differently and think about your options and just growing your financial like health and wealth and everything, like it makes sense to look around before you keep going out and over consuming. So even if you're buying a lot of online courses or something like that, like I am totally guilty of this. Like, take me to court. I will plead guilty. It's happening. How many courses have I bought that I haven't fully taken the time to sit with, to take in the information and to allow it to affect my current situation as well as my future situation? So if I keep buying these courses or whatever, but not ever actually taking in the information, what good is that really doing for my wallet and for my future? Like, utilize what you have today in order to help yourself for tomorrow. I just think that's such a good suggestion. Like, over consuming for no real reason, like it's just super wasteful.
And it's funny because half of the time you haven't completed it, not because you didn't like it. It's because you got caught off track or you got interrupted or something else came up and you went after it instead. Like stereotypically, the things that you have that are only partially used are not even set aside because of dislike. So take some stock of what you have. And if you have things that you don't need and you don't want, get those out of your life. I genuinely believe that clearing space figuratively, literally, emotionally, mentally in your life, clearing the space allows room for better things to come.
I agree. And I think the last thing I really want to add to that is just from a maker perspective. I know if you guys are listening and maybe you're thinking about starting some kind of creative business, or say you already have a creative, like small business, if you look around and you're no longer inspired by your current art, by anything that came from you, that does not mean that someone else will not be inspired and excited by it. I have so many people that come to me and they're like, well, I couldn't get it off the ground. I couldn't do that. I said, well, do you still have inventory? Do you still have product? Like, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, sell it. Like, sell the product, sell the inventory, sit with it for a minute, like we were talking about. Maybe get yourself a little and more excited, just remembering the experience you had in order to convey that art to your audience. But no matter what, if people don't know that you have these things, that you can sell these things, like Melissa said, like literally clear space, and you will literally fill your wallet with cash. Because like I said, so many people just feel like, it's not good enough. It doesn't match my current whatever, or they want to offer it at some extreme discount. And I'm just like, no. Like, let's just put it out there one more time, see what people think about it. And you would be surprised how many people wished they had gotten it way back when you were offering it before, or they will literally thank you for the opportunity to purchase what you already have. So use that however you will to make sure that you guys can clear that space and can leave more space for the gratitude, the excitement, the whole idea of just be where you are today and allow it to sink in. Because once it does, you will not only utilize everything that you have today to its best use or to its fullest potential, but you will allow your future self to grow, like to be even bigger, even better, even whatever you're looking for in the future. If you can be in the present now, your future will thank you for it. So thank you so much, Melissa. Thanks for bringing this idea. This is something I definitely needed to hear today, be reminded of always. Can you tell our audience how they can find you if they're interested in your coaching?
Yep, you can check me out at melissablandfordcoaching.com. Thanks for having me. It was super fun, as always.
Perfect. So excited. Thank you guys for listening to another mini-sode of my money mindset coach, Melissa, and I talking about things that I needed to hear, and we sure are glad you're here to listen to them too. So thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time. If you want to put more money in the wallets of women like we do, then check out our website, thewomanownedwallet.com. And we can't wait to continue the conversation on our social media. So definitely follow us on our Instagram, womanowned.wallet, and TikTok, womanownedwallet. You can also support us and be entered for some amazing giveaway opportunities by following us on Apple and Spotify. And don't forget to leave us a review. Thank you for listening to Woman Owned Wallet, the podcast.